Hi there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for February 2025. I have cleansed your space. I have meditated on your cards. I'm going to start with the astrological forecast for the month of February. If you're not interested in this, please have a look in the description box down below to when the tarot reading actually starts. But we're gonna jump straight in with the astrological events for the month of February. And we have a conjunction of the Moon and Saturn, but also a conjunction of Moon and Venus on the same day, on the 1st of February. The conjunction of Moon and Saturn can bring a sense of emotional isolations, feelings of loneliness, sadness, or a lack of emotional fulfillment. The Moon is the planet of emotions, and Saturn is the planet of structure and discipline. It would be a great time to have a look at how your structure is impacting your emotions and vice versa. It's all about emotional challenges and growing from them. Make sure that life demands are not weighing you down too much, but if they are, take a look at what you can do about it to realign yourself. The conjunction of Moon and Venus can bring a sense and a blend of beauty, emotional depth, financial ease, but also challenges in relationships and emotional stability. And collectively, we're going to look at creativity, security, beauty, and pleasure. Emotion will come in touch with pleasure, but we might want to combine this with some sort of discipline, since Saturn is also dancing with the Moon at the same time. The Moon will also be in the sign of Pisces at this time, a highly intuitive sign that is literally represented by duality. You have the two fish swimming in opposite directions. So we might actually really benefit from swimming deep into our own waters and our own subconscious and connecting to that side of us. The Moon will be at its closest point to Earth in Aries on the 2nd of February, which probably will reignite our energies in order to set our things straight before the full moon and get some things moving before the full moon. We also have Jupiter coming out of retrograde in the sign of Gemini on the 4th of February. It has been a period of introspection, reassessments. We've been asked to reconsider past decisions and had time to reflect on our spiritual values along with our moral values. And Jupiter is the planet of principles, growth, expansion, adventure, healing, good fortune, and miracles. So we can really expect to cash in properly from the introspection we've experienced since Jupiter started going into retrograde and as it's coming out of it now. We have the full moon in Leo on the 12th of February. We want to be seen, we want to celebrate, we want to embrace the unique ways we shine. We want to connect to that inner child and have a childlike wonder, where you find yourself where you feel like a natural leader. And it's not a time for quitting on yourself. Be sure of that, and make sure that you can find some friendly competition, because that will always propel us a bit further forward. Venus energy will be quite prominent in the month of February, and it will be at its brightest on February 16th. So we can probably see it in the night sky, but we've also been able to see it throughout the month of January, but it will be at its brightest on February 16th. Mars retrograde will end in Cancer, your sign, on the 24th of February. So motivation will return, a period of feeling tired and exhausted will end. Mars is ruling our personal energy, so will ask us to check our own energy so it's not damaging or draining before a new period, a new fresh period of action can actually begin. What has been stalled is slowly starting to move again, and with it we bring new awareness of our own limitations, priorities, and the ability to nurture our within. We have the Sun entering Pisces on the 19th of February, a fellow water sign, and it is a time for healing, engaging in spiritual practices, creative projects, letting go of the past, and preparing for a new astrological new year, which will begin once the Sun moves into Aries by the end of March. On the 28th of February, we also have the new moon in Pisces. So we have both the new moon and the Sun propelling you forward into the month of March by the end of February. And it's encouraging us to reflect on the importance of surrendering, to go with the flow. It might be encouraging us to have a look at where our opposing forces in life can actually join and become one, to find where we can build a bridge in between these. And it's not a time to check out, rather than to check in and allow yourself to feel. And I feel like there's been a lot of readings throughout this month, or that I've been doing for the month of February, that has been really focusing on balance and duality. So it's going to be quite a topic of the month of February. But like I said earlier, I've cleansed your space and I meditated on your cards. I would like to cleanse the space with you one more time before we begin. And you will be hearing 3 loud sounds, and I will begin now. There we go, my beautiful Cancers. We're going to have a look at your spirit animals for the month of February. What are the 2 spirit animals for Cancer for the month of February? Ooh, we got a few. All right. So even though I asked for 2, we're getting a few more. So I had a feeling you were going to get the eagle, actually. So we have a bee. The bees are busy building, working together in community. It is connected to the air sign. So if you want to have a look at the spiritual meaning of a bee, please have a Google yourself. But the bees are busy working collectively to make that sweet, sweet honey, working its entire lifetime and being very committed. You have the eagle, and there's a story, or an old story, about eagles living even longer after it goes through a period of destructiveness, we can say. So there's a thing really floating around that is supposedly just a fairy tale, but once the eagle reaches its very old age of 30, it goes up into the mountain, rips its talons out, regrows them, knocks its beak out and regrows it, and plucks its feathers so it can live another 30 or 40 years. But this is about grabbing the sun and grabbing the joy. The eagle is on top of the food chain when it comes to the air. So that is the eagle. The eagle is a free spirit as well. You have the owl, very wise, connected to the dark, can see and know a lot. That's why I'm getting there. It is also seeing 360, you know, it is turning its head and you can see through the dark, finding the prey. But it's also a very mythical creature connected to magic and the darkness there. So please have a Google if you're interested in this. We also have the rabbit. The rabbit is fast, it's joyous, and it can be a little bit hyperactive at times, being chased, and it knows it's being chased. But it can also have a really good time. I feel like I need to have a look at the spirit animal guidebook to read for you the rabbit here. So bear with me 1 second. We have the rabbit. Oh, this is not what I said. So what it says in the book here is, afraid of everything, overwhelmed and frozen, the rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it, so loudly in fact that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. The rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up in a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, oh rabbits, they shape your destiny. So you need to really be aware of your words and how you create your reality here. You should be focusing that you are the eagle rather than the rabbit. So when the rabbit is in balance, the rabbit is sensitive, it is a problem solver, and it's a good listener. When it's out of balance, it over-explains and talks fast. To bring the rabbit energy into balance, you need to focus on a day of silence. So those are the spirit animals for you for the month of February to keep in mind. I really feel like you should focus on the eagle and the owl here and not overwork yourself, and make sure that you have some solitude and not being a rabbit in the headlights. Let's leave this there. I want to have a look at what Spirit wants you to know before we start the Celtic cross for the month. if there's any messages for Cancer for the month of February. Thank you. Oh, thank you. One more. What does Capricorn need to be aware of and keep in mind throughout the reading and through the month of February? Could you please guide them for the highest good? What does Cancer need to know about? Oh, thank you. So we got Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, sexual alchemy. So this is about creation. You also have the number 8 there, which is karma and money. Sexual alchemy is about creating and really connecting to the energies around you and allowing yourself and realizing that you are the one that is creating your future. This is also connected to the sacral chakra, which is about dance and movement and connecting to your inner drive and inner fire. You have elevated status through the Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn. So you might be elevating yourself or being seen as someone that knows what they're doing, or being recognized for being the creator that you are. That is a wonderful energy there, Cancer. We've got quite a lot of spirit animals here, so I will just move these up like so. And you also have the Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius, which talks about honoring your individuality, shine the way that you are supposed to be shining, and really connect to that side of you. All right, wonderful energy there, Cancer. Can I please have a look at Cancer's past? What energy are they bringing into February? Oop. So we have the Seven of Wands. The sevens are about waiting and a higher purpose. It's a card about structuring your ground, defense, maintaining control. You know, he's fighting here with sticks, with other people who have sticks. So it's kind of like standing your ground. He's not fighting with swords, so it's not so serious, but it's still fighting and practicing, we can say. Defending boundaries, not only playing offense, but also defense, like knowing where to balance offense and defense, a kind of level there in between. Yes, so that is the energy that you bring it into February. You might have realized that you can't only be playing defense, you might also need to play offense. Can I have some more clarity on the Seven of Wands here? When it comes to creativity and willpower, maybe you just realized that you need to balance the way and structure the way you are carrying yourself and carrying out your plans. Good. Well, thank you. We have the Four of Wands there as well, and the fours are about stability and consistency. So maybe, since it is in the reverse, maybe you've not been feeling so stable and consistent. This is a card about community, home, gathering, celebration, and celebrating accomplishments, peace after hard work, and family and community. So maybe you've been feeling somewhat isolated and not really knowing how to navigate your energy, if you should go defense or offense. But maybe you've not been feeling so stable and consistent as you have wished that you would. Maybe you've not been having a great time with family and friends. Maybe you've been through a period of solitude and waiting. Okay, could I please have the hopes or fears for Cancer throughout the month of February 2025? What do they need to be aware of? Could you please guide them for the highest good? Okay, there's quite a few cards here, so I'm going to ask for clarification through the other deck. But you have the Justice in the reverse, and Justice is about cause and effect and clarity. So it adds up to the number 11. That is a master number, but if you want to take it even further, you have 1 + 1 is 2, so that is about balance. And you also have the scales there in the Justice. It is a card about truth, and everyone is accountable for their own actions. Embracing fairness and correct past wrongs. It's about karmic retribution. Do we not have karma here? I felt like karma is an actual word of the month for you, Cancer. Either way, karmic retribution. What you get is a direct result of your actions. And it also has the double-sided sword, and the sword could be used for good or for bad. Depends on the action. It's kind of like you decide. But since it's in the reverse, maybe you feel like the world has been a little bit against you. You feel like things are not going your way. You feel like you have been really fighting on your own here, but you've only been practicing, all right? The card will go into the upright as you're working through this energy, and you will realize that justice is working also in your favor, not just in other people's favor. Does that make sense? So, I'm getting unfairness, that you feel like the world is a little bit against you, and maybe that's why you're feeling a little bit of hyperactive. But these cards are talking about you are being the creator, and you can decide whether justice, how you see justice. All right, you can see justice as it being unfair to you, but you can also see it and realize that, oh, I've learned this from it. Yeah. Could I have another card clarifying justice here in the reverse about the hopes and the fears for the month of February for Cancer? What do they need to know about justice into the reverse? What is it about? Could you please guide them for the highest good? It's about hard work. 7 of Pentacles. So the sevens are, once again, another 7. So maybe 7-7 is going to be showing up for you this month of February. The sevens are once again about waiting and a higher purpose. And, you know, she has been sowing these pentacles for a very long time, and she has waited, and she's been taking very good care of it. And, you know, it's not by any means done yet. All the work is not done. She also needs to harvest it. And maybe that's why you feel about the justice, is that it's not feeling fair, and you're putting so much work into it and it's not done yet. Maybe you feel like you want to give up, but there is a period of waiting because of a higher purpose. If it has to do with the job, maybe you're wondering if all the energy you're putting into it is actually coming back to you. Or, yeah, that's actually what I'm getting. Or, why or? You still need to work. I'm just going off on a tangent here because I was wondering where the or came from, because it just popped out, and I don't think that there is a coincidence. Focus, time and work. You need to focus before reaping, focusing on what you're doing, focusing on what's actually going on, and ground yourself. Maybe if you're into gardening or actually into, you might need to ground yourself a little bit here in order to see the positives out of it. But this is in the space of the hopes and fears, and this is justifying or clarifying justice here. So all the work that you've been going into, you really hope that you will be recognized for it, instead of someone else having the benefit or taking credit for what you're doing, that the truth is going to come out. But you're wondering, since you might have had this period of isolation or fending for yourself, that you might feel like, okay, it's not going my way, and I think someone else is taking credit for my work or whatever. There's a cause and effect. The justice will go into the upright, and it will work into your favor as you're working with this energy. All right, just be staying true to yourself and what you're doing. And that's also what justice is telling us. It's about cause and effect. Be sure that you are backing yourself up with proper information and maybe even evidence in case you're in a deep state or that you need in this situation, if that makes sense. Yeah, make sure that you have things backed up, because you deserve to be recognized here. Okay, could I have the present moment for you, Cancer? Yes, So the sevens, once again, you have 7, 7, 7. So the 7 will be a number for the month. Sevens, once again, are a card of waiting and a higher purpose. And this is a card about deception, trickery, turning a blind eye, tactical, and survival mode versus thriving. But since this is in the reversed here, I feel like maybe you have been deceived, maybe you've been tricked. You could have turned a blind eye to someone doing something. If this is connected to like a work scenario where someone is taking credit for your work, you've been turning a blind eye and saying, I'm not going to get involved with that. But just realize that you need to stand your ground and you need to speak your own truth. All right? You cannot be a rabbit in the headlights. And this, with you muting yourself, you're also pausing this creative energy that's coming from within, this sexual alchemy, this energy of creation. You're muting that when you're not standing up for yourself. You can stand up for yourself in so many different ways, but maybe have a few backups going here in the background. But I feel like you're kind of done with it, if that makes sense. You feel like, I don't want this to continue on, and you've had enough. You're starting to even maybe put some boundaries out there. Maybe not telling everyone what you've been thinking about. Gonna have the crossing energy here. Is there any challenges or blockages, or is there any assets or benefits here to the present moment? What is the crossing energy to the 7 of Swords? So the Page of Wands is about new opportunity and new experiences. Is a card about exploration, excitement, freedom, new creative projects, vision, and balancing idea with execution. So this is the crossing energy. It can be used for good or for bad. Does that make sense? That there is an opportunity coming in for you. Maybe you're having a job offer coming in for you that is actually very creative, and it will bring your willpower back. Or maybe you're put into a different team, or you have the ability to actually step up. And I feel like that is the energy that's coming into it. You're very excited about taking this on because you are done with it, but done with this being muted. So allowing the wands to really fire you on, it's a great way of going through this. So this is an opportunity coming in. Great. What is the conscious energy here of Cancer? Just realize here, Cancer, that you are the one grabbing your reality, and the way you speak is shaping your reality. And if you choose not to speak, that is also you choosing to not say something. Yeah. What is the conscious energy here? What is going on in your conscious mind? What are you consciously working towards here, Cancer? Oop. Ooh. So the 9 of Cups here. So the 9s are connected to isolation somewhat, but this man, he's very happy here. You know, he is having a heightened awareness of himself. You can see that he's displaying comfort, you know, he has emotional stability, you know, he's all these cups lined up in a row, and he's very happy about this. So this is a card about emotional stability and knowing your worth and not taking it for granted, finding fulfillment within. So it feels like you're realizing that this, what's going on here, is not actually helping you. It is stopping you from creating from yourself and being the creator in your own life. He's happily fulfilled here, and you're working towards this energy. That is what you realize. You realize that you deserve better than that. Could I have another card here clarifying the 9 of Cups? What is Cancer supposed to hear? Well, what is Cancer supposed to take away from these 9 of Cups? I feel very light looking at it. So okay, so there's a lot of negative cards on this, but the one that really sticks out here is selfishness, but not necessarily in a negative sense, that you're thinking about yourself. And you also have self-care. It's also a card about inequality and power dynamics. But really what sticks out here is being selfish in a good way by taking care of yourself. You know, sometimes it is okay for you to take energy towards yourself. Does that make sense? That's what I'm getting from there. All right, great, wonderful, Cancer. You're working on yourself here. You feel you've been really catching on to this imbalance that's been going on, and you are saying that no more, thank you. I'm working on myself for myself. Thank you very much. What is the key to the mystery? What's lurking underneath? What is going on in your subconscious, in your unconscious? Unconscious? Is it not called subconscious? What is going on here? Death. Death, but you might be not ready to have it yet. So death is about transformation. It is an end of a cycle, beginnings, like new beginnings, transformation, metamorphosis, working through energy and transmuting the energy, because energy is not created nor destroyed, it is transmuted into something else. It's about radical transformation. It's part of the major arcana, so this is a big life change. And you know, with death, something else gets space to live, and it's asking you to embrace new beginnings, but you've not been fully ready to have that yet. This will go into the upright as you're working through this energy through the month, and you will be ready for a new start. And the death is really like, you know, a larva going into a cocoon and turning into a butterfly. Maybe it is about work or in the social settings that you are, and you are outgrowing it somewhat, and it's time to take that step and becoming who you're supposed to be. Maybe that's why you got the eagle as well, because you need to be who you be. Oh wow, you need to be who you're supposed to be and realizing your worth, and you are getting on the track here. You just need to allow it to happen. You know, as you're stepping into a new life, things that are not longer serving you or starting to work against you will start to fall back and not be as important. And as you're realizing your worth, more and more you will get into that new creation of you. Yeah, I'm getting really excited about this. I don't know if you've been waiting to hear this in order to do something about it, like a confirmation, but you've also had all these confirmations around you. If it's not working your way and you really want it and try it and twist it and turn it, and then you realize that, I've had enough, like that is also your sign. Okay, what is your attitude towards the month of February? How are you feeling? You have the Tower into the reverse. So once again, the Tower is the number 16. So 1 plus 6 is 7. So you also have another number 7 throughout this month. The Tower is about a sudden upheaval, pride, disaster, breaking structure that needs to be broken to build on a stronger foundation. Tearing down artificial comfort, we find our hidden resilience in the ruins and can rebuild a new life with greater insight once it has crumbled down. Okay, so the Tower here comes up when something needs to come down or something needs to be realized, because this tower has been built on a very weak foundation. And in order for it to stand very tall and strong throughout time, it needs to have a very strong foundation. But since it came into the reverse, you might have been feeling like you just avoided a disaster. But if this is part of your soul mission, things might keep on coming back to throw you off, not happening to you, but happening for you. So really dig deep into, if something has happened, What is it actually trying to tell me? The other feel I'm also getting from this, since also death is in the reverse, that you are trying very hard not to shake the boat you're in. But you're getting a little bit upset, you're getting very tired, not going in with the flow. Okay, because you're also water sign, you need to be with the flow of the energies. You might actually feel that you're trying your hardest to make sure that things are not falling apart, but you don't need to try so hard. And if you're looking at it as it's falling apart, because I'm thinking about the rabbit once again, that the words that you are choosing is creating your reality. Maybe there's something better for you coming. If you feel like, I'm getting this word of a job once again. Maybe you're looking at other jobs, or maybe you're trying to get out before it actually starts to crumble. Maybe that's what you're feeling. But you are not actually acting on your energies fully. I feel like you need to fully take a step into something new. I'm not saying that you should just quit and be done with it, but taking like serious action towards what you want and letting the old structure that can't hold you crumble. Okay, I feel like it's a very clear message. I feel like you needed to hear what you got there. What's the environment around you? The Magician. So the environment around you, it could be with your friends, or when you're sitting with yourself, you're picking up on this creation, on this creative energy. The Magician is the beginning. He is about willpower, intention, creation, manifestation. It's funny that we talked so much about manifestation throughout this reading. I have the tools to create my reality. You can see all the suits of the tarot on his table there. He's pointing up to the skies, and it's also pointing down to the ground to symbolize as above, so below. And there's a lot of flowers on this card, and the flowers are quite hard to grow in the tarot. It symbolizes a lot of work going into it. You also have the infinity symbol there, and that could also be represented by the number 8, so having strength, but also karma. So karma is coming back once again. So I feel like you're getting in touch with this creative energies that are surrounding you, and realizing, I feel like maybe that's why you're realizing that you deserve better than what you've actually been receiving. I feel like this is also very clear. I feel like you got that. We've been talking about karma, we've been talking about manifestation, we've been talking about the words that you're using and how you're creating your own reality. It's also major arcana, so you have something very big coming in for you here. It could also be a new job, or a new way of seeing life just around the corner, since it's in your environment. But you need to allow this death in the tower to happen to also be tapping fully into that. Sometimes we find ourselves in a weird position where we stand with one foot in our old life and one foot in the new life. And it has to be just making sure that you're still moving forward to where you want to be, okay? Could I clarify the Magician here, please? What does Cancer need to know? Page of Swords. So the pages are about new opportunities and experience, exploration. Opportunity. Okay, so it's a card about maybe you actually done planning, maybe you actually need to start doing something. Even though it's in the reverse, you know, he's happy and he's excited, he's curious, he's almost a little bit restless, you know, he has a lot of mental energy. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit drowned and drained. Why did I say that? Maybe you've been feeling a bit drowned by all your emotions. You need to stop. And you've been planning on how you're going to do things, and now you need to actually take actions towards it. And make sure that you have some boundaries set up around you, and that you're shining your own individual light. You have also the 9 of Swords, which is usually a little negative card, and it's a card about isolation. You have another 9. I just realized you have another 9 here. So this is in the reverse, and the 9 of Swords is about anxiety, hopelessness, and trapped by negative thoughts. So maybe that's why the Page of Swords is coming up. Maybe we had too many thoughts, but the 9 of Swords is in the reversed. So I feel like you are coming out of this. Okay, I feel like you are kind of focusing on how you are aligning your thoughts and realizing that you're not trapped by emotions, you're not trapped by your thoughts, and you have a lot of bravery and strength, and you realize that that is your way out. Okay, you just need, I really feel like I need to emphasize, you need to stop planning and start taking some steps. Okay, don't live in your head, Cancer. I love it. I'm a fellow water sign. I live in my head constantly, okay? Don't do that. Start taking steps and allow this death to happen. Allow yourself to move on from that job that you really do not get appreciated in. Okay? Can I please have Cancer's short-term outcome from working throughout these energies through the month of February? What is the short-term outcome? So the short-term outcome is days or even weeks. Could be a month or two, but the 5 here is about change and possibility. All right? This card at first looks very dark. They're outside, they're walking in the snow, they're freezing to death, but they realize that there's a sense of need here. You can also read it as poverty or insecurity, but I'm not really getting poverty. You know, these people can just step inside the church and realize that there is some help to get in there. They can get fed, they can get shelter for the night, you know. So I feel like the short-term outcome is realizing that there is help around you to get if you're willing to raise it, to look and see it from that perspective instead. And see changes that you can use around you. You can use changes in your favor instead of allowing it just to happen to you. You can actually step into that creator power and use it for your benefit and for the benefit for the people around you. Oh, and yes. And realizing, you also have a number 2 here, we talked about balance. And also, there can be different choices, and making sure that you're not getting into a stalemate, but realizing that pros and cons, there is pros and cons with every single decision that you make, and there's no clear winner but one. But she can also put these swords down and choose to dive into her emotions. It does not only need to be a choice of this or that in her mind, because the swords are connected to the intellect and thoughts, and I feel like you've been thinking too much here, and you can actually step out of this thinking and realize there's a third or a fourth option, and you can just create it as you are willing to see it. What is the long-term outcome here for Cancer, working through this energy of the month of February? Page of Cups. Pages, once again, is about new opportunities and new experiences. Possibilities. The Page of Cups are about, it could be delightful surprises. You might have actually a job offer coming in for you, which will be really beneficial for your creativity and going with the flow. You have the little fish popping out of the cup there, which is connecting to your intuition, which is also talking about the magic and intuition of this owl here. So you might actually be realigning yourself, working throughout these energies of the month of February. It is also about guidings from imagination, but also from your inner voice. And you need to just keep in mind that you need to ground yourself and not live in your head in order to guide, right? Otherwise, there might be some problems about balancing. You don't know if it is imagination or intuition popping in. Yeah, so you just need to make sure that you're grounded, really connected to your first 3 chakras. I'm feeling those are the 3 masculine chakras of the body, which is connected to this material world that we're living in right now. And I feel like you might actually be very creative. If this is a new job coming in for you, you might actually be able to be fully creative and honor your individuality here. But that is also the theme of the month, isn't it? To honor your individuality, realizing that not everyone is made in the same kind of shape, size, form, color, but embracing your individuality. Beautiful. I'm very grateful for this. Thank you so much. I am just going to ask Spirit if there's any other messages for you, Cancer, throughout this month of February. What do they need to be aware of? Step outside of your comfort zone. Okay, we've been talking about this. Just step outside of your comfort zone and direct yourself to your North Node, which is your true North, which is what you're supposed to be doing, and realigning yourself with your true purpose. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for that confirmation. We also have the answers you need are coming. Okay, so these answers might be coming from external forces, but you might also actually need to be talking and not necessarily asking other people for help, but maybe seeing it from another perspective. That's what I'm getting. It's funny, that confirmation. Just step outside of your comfort zone, Cancer. Come on now. I'm guilty as well. Comfort zone is so comfy sometimes. Hold your vision. If you know what you want to do, just keep that in mind on the back of your head. You don't need to overthink it. Just keep it posted or pinned in the back of your head so you can actually follow your true north to where you're going. I feel like it might be a little bit of overkill, but I feel like I need to do this as well. Any last messages for Cancer before I close this reading? Any last messages? I feel like we had quite a lot of confirmation here, asking you to be staying true to yourself, speaking your truth and honesty, and also the moon's reflection here. I feel like this is about balance because you've got 2 women here, and 2 is about balance and maybe even duality. But accept responsibility that if you decide not to say something, you're actively making a choice as well. So accept responsibility for yourself, not necessarily something someone else has done, but accepting responsibility for how you're creating your own world. Thank you so much, Cancer. I hope something resonated in this reading. I felt very connected to you through this reading. I'm truly grateful that you've been here. If anything resonated, please leave a like. Please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And hopefully I see you in the month of March. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.